Paul Dickoff and Craig Burley watch Manchester City go through to the last 16 of the Europa League. They play Leisure Warsaw or Sporting Lisbon, 2-2 the score in that tie going in tomorrow's second leg match in Portugal. So Tevez is back in for the Premier League campaign.
He's gone soft.
I think he's been very pragmatic. He's saying he apologised, so on we go, I've accepted it.
So why has he been in Argentina for the last 3 months?
He hadn't apologised then, probably, hadn't he?
Well, he said he called him after the 1 week after. Why has it taken him 3 months to apologise?
Well, I can't answer that. But
he's back down, hasn't he?
There's been a rift.
Well, he's going to back down. He's worried about Balotelli getting suspended and doing something stupid. He's worried about injuries. And he's absolutely right to be so, but there is definitely a change in the stance here.
How do you see it, Paul?
There's a change in the stance, but I do understand why it's happened. You know, they're sitting top of the league. They can go on and win the Europa League if they want to. And if something happens to Sergio Aguero, Yaya Toure, David Silva, Dzeko, Balotelli, and he's sitting there with a Carlos Tevez still in the club's book and not playing him,
that could make the difference
when he can push them over the line.
I think the problem here is
he has to put the welfare of the
you
football
immediately
club
pushed it
first.
the way of he was backing down there.
The problem here is he cannot afford to let this Barclays Premier League title slip, if indeed it does, and Tevez has been sitting doing nothing. He can't afford to do that.
Exactly, so it's not backing down then, is it?
All I'm saying is, in an ideal... Well, of course it's backing down. He's backed down from his original stance. What I'm saying is, in an ideal world...
Do you ever say things you don't mean?
Loads of times. Yeah. In an ideal world, City would do whatever they do without Carlos Tevez. But he's definitely backed down from his very, very strong stance at the start. And listen, we'll see what tomorrow holds, because he goes into a meeting tomorrow, and who knows, it could all flare up again. I don't know. Is
this a decision of common sense for the greater good for Manchester City, even though the fans might not like the idea of it, and Roberto Mancini will have to try and carry the City fans on it? From listening to that, I would say he's back in the fold.
I think it's a decision that's done in the best interest of Manchester City, and not for Roberto Mancini or Carlos Tevez. You know, they can't get personal about it. I think there's enough been said about it over the last, not just 3 months, 4 or 5 months. It happens all the time. Man City want to win trophies, they want to win the Premier League, and they want to win the Europa League, and they have to do it and they have to have their best players available to do it.
The challenge is for Carlos Tevez, surely, to build bridges and to prove to the Manchester City fans and his teammates and Roberto Mancini that he is sorry, he sees the error of his ways, and he's going to do what he can to heal the wound. Well, so the challenge is for him to do that.
Yes, the challenge is, but let's get one thing straight. He's only sorry because he didn't get his move in January. And the club didn't get rid of him, he didn't get what he wanted, and that's the only reason he's sorry. So maybe you could say it's in the best interest of both parties. There's no guarantee that he's going to play between now and the end of the season, because if all these guys stay fit and Aguero's on fire, do they need Carlos Tevez? No. Unless they get horrendous injury problems. They don't need them, let's be quite frank.
But if that happened, and then all of a sudden this hadn't been healed, would that raise question marks too?
Well, yes. But it's hypothetical.
Now, other side of the coin, so there's Tevez, and we can debate this long and hard. The Manchester City fans will have their view. Aguero, other side of the coin, this 23-year-old Argentinian, he's a top player, isn't he?
Yeah, and I suppose people might say Tevez and Aguero together, but what about Edin Dzeko and Aguero? What about Balotelli and Aguero? So, but, you know, Sergio Aguero's been excellent.